Once upon a time, in a lush and verdant countryside, there lay a peaceful farm where animals roamed freely. Among them was a mother duck, gentle and nurturing, who eagerly awaited the hatching of her eggs. Day after day, she sat on her nest, keeping the eggs warm with her soft feathers and tender care. One by one, the eggs cracked open, and the farm filled with the delightful sounds of chirping ducklings. Each fluffy creature emerged, its bright yellow feathers shimmering in the sunlight. However, one egg took longer to hatch, and when it finally did, the mother duck's heart skipped a beat. Instead of a fluffy, yellow duckling, a gray and ungainly creature emerged from the egg. The mother duck blinked in confusion, unable to comprehend how such an unusual duckling could be hers. The other animals on the farm looked on in astonishment, whispering among themselves. They called the little one the ugly duckling. From the very beginning, the ugly duckling felt different and out of place. Its gray feathers stood out amidst the vibrant yellow of its siblings. The mother duck, though initially surprised, opened her heart and accepted the ugly duckling as one of her own. But outside the nurturing embrace of its mother, the ugly duckling faced a world that judged based on appearances. The other farm animals were quick to make fun of the ugly duckling, mocking its awkwardness and unusual appearance. Ducks would peck at it, chickens would squawk in disdain, and even the proud swans, known for their elegance, dismissed the ugly duckling as an outcast. The poor little duckling felt the weight of their judgment and developed a deep sense of self-doubt and insecurity. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the ugly duckling's longing for acceptance grew stronger. It yearned to find a place where it truly belonged, a place where it could be accepted and loved for who it truly was. Driven by an indomitable spirit and an unquenchable desire to find its purpose, the ugly duckling embarked on a courageous journey of self-discovery. Throughout its travels, the ugly duckling encountered various creatures, each with their own prejudices and preconceived notions. The world seemed to reinforce the duckling's feelings of inadequacy, leaving it even more disheartened. It often gazed upon its own reflection in the water, wondering why it looked so different from the others. The ugly duckling endured the harsh realities of each passing season, from the scorching heat of summer to the biting cold of winter. Its days were filled with loneliness, as it struggled to find a sense of belonging. But deep down, the ugly duckling held onto a glimmer of hope that someday it would discover its true identity and find acceptance. One day, while flying south to escape the impending winter, the ugly duckling caught sight of a flock of elegant swans gliding gracefully on a serene lake. Overwhelmed by their beauty and grace, the ugly duckling could only dream of being part of such magnificence. Yet, it quickly dismissed the idea, believing it could never be as splendid as a swan. However, fate had a different plan in store. As the ugly duckling landed on the same lake, surrounded by the majestic swans, a sense of trepidation washed over it. Anticipating rejection, it approached the swans timidly. But to its surprise, the swans welcomed it with open wings, their graceful presence filling the air with acceptance and warmth. As the ugly duckling looked into the calm waters of the lake, it saw its reflection for the first time in a long while. To its astonishment, the reflection staring back was not that of an awkward duckling but a stunning swan, its feathers radiant and majestic. The ugly duckling had transformed into a beautiful creature, just like the ones it had admired. At that moment, the ugly duckling realized that it had never truly been an ugly duckling. It had always been a swan, destined to become what it was meant to be. The journey it had undertaken had taught it invaluable lessons about self-acceptance, resilience, and the significance of embracing one's true identity. Joined by its newfound swan companions, the ugly duckling soared through the sky, its heart filled with newfound confidence and joy. It reveled in the freedom that came with accepting itself fully, unburdened by the weight of others' judgments. Together, they formed a graceful formation, a sight that left others in awe of their beauty. News of the ugly duckling's transformation spread throughout the land, inspiring creatures far and wide. Animals of all kinds, regardless of their appearances, began to embrace their own unique qualities and find beauty within themselves. The tale of the ugly duckling's journey to self-acceptance became a timeless reminder that true beauty comes from within, transcending mere physical appearance. And so, the ugly duckling's story lived on, passed down through generations, teaching invaluable lessons of self-love, acceptance, and the power of embracing one's true identity. It served as a beacon of hope for those who felt different, reminding them that they too could blossom into something extraordinary.